Christy Tomlinson with the Scarlet Lime, and welcome to our tutorial, a canvas art tutorial for January. This month I'm going to be creating a canvas for you using the January Frugal Fab Kit, and I'm going to show you really quick the pieces that you're going to want to gather together to complete this art project. So the first thing that you want obviously is the Frugal Fab Kit for January, and then I'm using a 10 by 10 canvas art piece right here. I got this at dickblick.com, and I'm not really sure if Michaels carries 6x6, 8x8 sizes, but really you can create it whatever size you want. You could easily adapt this to something else. Then of course I have my paint supplies over here. I'm going to be using a couple of different paints. Right now I just have blue and green in mind, but I might add more. And then of course trusty Modge Podge, paintbrushes, a brayer, and a pen for doodling, and then I'm going to also be using some other items like stamps and different things, but that aren't necessarily in your kit, but that you probably have laying around anyways, and then we'll go from there. So let's get started. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to do is I cut a piece of this blue paper, and it's just going to fit in the upper portion. I didn't cut it all the way down because I'm going to end up filling some of this in with something else, so I hate to waste paper. So the first thing that I'm going to do is going to take my Modge Podge, and I'm just going to spread it all over the canvas like this. Modge Podge, the rule is you always go up, or you always go under and you always go on top. I don't know where the up came from. Okay, and then I'm just going to put this right on here. Doesn't matter if it's to the edge or not, because by the time we're done with it, it's going to get covered up. And then going to Modge Podge over the top. Then once we do this, we're going to let this dry for a little bit, because obviously we can't, I mean, if we had the other stuff ready to go, we could Modge Podge over the top, but I want to do a painting over it, so we're going to let this dry for a little bit, and then we'll move on to the next step. Okay, so the next step is to cut out the little banners that we want to go on the line, and so I'm just going to use a little bit of each of the paper, I think, and I don't usually create a pattern, but you can if you want. I just know about the size that I roughly want them to be. So, and I'm going to cut them out whether I use them or not, because you just never know if you use them. So might as well have them ready, alright? So I'm just going to cut little squares out of each one. Squares. Did I just say squares? No, we're not cutting squares. We're cutting triangles out of each one. So you're going to do that with each one of your paper. Back our Modge Podge project. Now, as you can see, it's starting a little bit. Totally fine. You know what I do? It doesn't really matter because I take my fingers, and I've got black on my fingers, so it's turning black. It's seriously not a big deal because we're not going to see it. So, anyways, I just take it, and I don't care if I get wrinkles in it, because I actually like the wrinkles. It creates a little more texture, and if you've ever seen me use tissue paper, there's lots of wrinkles, and that's what the tissue paper makes. So, then I'm going to take just a little bit of this blue paint and put it on my thing right here. Get a brush. Give me one. I love these brushes, by the way. I get them at Harbor Freight if you have one by you, or online, and you can buy them in packs, and they're really inexpensive. Like, you buy them in a huge box, like 24, so it's kind of cool. So now I'm going to take this, and I'm just going to put paint all over it. And you want to, okay, I got to do this for you guys because it's really cool, but there's this fun technique that my friend Mel Ross just showed last week, and I'd never done it before until last week. But let me grab, these are just some old cards that used to be in Scarlet Lime kits, and so I had a lot of extra ones, but it works. You can get any kind of card, and you just scrape the paint over the top of it, and I actually totally love how random it is. But a brayer will kind of get the same effect, and we'll go over with a brayer in a minute too, a little later with white paint. But sides I'll use this. So do your sides and your top. Now, I'm starting not to see some of that paper that I put down, and that kind of wasn't the point. So, what I'm going to do is grab, let's grab this. I don't have any paper towels out here. I'm just going to put this down on it. Put it down. This is bubble wrap. Anyways, I'm just putting it down here. And it's pulling some of that paint back. Can you see that? And it's actually pulling it off in little teeny circles. But you can use toilet paper, tissue paper, whatever. I just use that because I don't have any tissue paper on hand. Okay, so our next step is I'm going to add a little more, because that's just not staying down. Oh, I probably didn't put paint or Modge Podge underneath. Okay, so this is dry. Now we're going to move on. And this was one of these things that you got in your kit. It's a pink paisley fabric strip. Anyways, I cut it in half, and I'm going to use it as my rope or whatever. Normally I would just draw it on, but that I thought it would be fun. And then I cut out a bunch of these, and then, like as we did earlier, and I'm going to put them on. So I'm just going to do this in fast forward mode, so you're not watching me, but we're going to start Modge Podging all of it on. Okay, so while that is drying, I'm going to do the grass. And the reason why I waited to do the grass, because I'm actually, honestly, designing this as we go. And I didn't know how high I wanted to put these, and I don't want the grass to be too high because I want to put some flowers down here. So we're just going to take some green paint. You know what? I always put it on there, but let's just put it right on the canvas. And then take a brush, one that's not hard. And we're going to put it on. And ew, I do not like that green color. So, not a big deal. We're just going to kind of make some rolling hills with it. And we got some paint up here, so we got to use that up there. Paint your sides, paint your bottom. So, we are going to let this dry for a little bit, and then we're going to come back to it and embellish it and make it cute.